I just learned something. I feel kind of dumb. I just learned how to do this on Logic. Hopefully you can do the same on your program, whatever you use. But if you happen to use Logic Pro, check this tip out. And probably you might already know this, but I didn't. I'm just sharing. So let's get into it. So Logic has something called Apple loops, a bunch of loops that folks have made, and is made available to whoever has Logic. And it comes in audio or MIDI. And sometimes you might want the audio to be MIDI because the MIDI is not available. So for example, here's a MIDI track right here, this little piano, right? This is an Apple loop, but it's MIDI. So that means I can use any sound that I want to. So let's drag this to this sound, which is a piano. Let's choose Steinway Grand. So now it's a piano, right? So that's the dope thing about MIDI. You can use any sound you want. However, some of these sounds are not MIDI. Again, they're audio. So what if I want to change the audio to a MIDI and the MIDI is not available? And this works best for sounds that are monophonic, meaning single notes, not a chord, but a single note. And I'm gonna go in here and type in flute. So these are Apple loops that have to do with a flute. So let's check this out. That's cool. Yes. I like that one. So what if I wanted a MIDI version of that? Like say I wanted to change that into a bass. See, I can't really do that from here because it's not MIDI, it's audio. So you just drag this Apple loop, which I already did. It's over here. See this? This is actual audio. So how do we turn that into MIDI? I'm gonna hit the letter E, and that's gonna bring this up on the bottom. Same thing. So I'm gonna hit this little icon, which is flex. Do you want to turn on flex for track Jazz Hustle Flute 04? Yes, turn it on. Okay, so now the next thing I want to do is click flex pitch. If it's not already on pitch, if you know, it might be on monophonic or automatic, just make sure flex pitch is checked. Okay, so now that changes these notes into MIDI. You see this? These can be moved around, but we're going to leave it alone for now. Next thing I want to do is click edit. Scroll over here to edit. And then I'm going to scroll down until it says create MIDI track from flex pitch. Hopefully y'all can see this. Click on that. See this? So now it just created MIDI. So now it might not be perfect, but we're going to see how close it is. Let's choose a different sound. This is supposed to be the MIDI notes. All right, so what happens if I drag this to a different sound? This is a bass sound right here, right? So let's try this. Let's drag this down. Okay, boom. So these are the notes. Can y'all hear it? Let me turn this up. Okay, so I hear those notes, but it's in a different key, but that's okay. We can match that up. I guess that's a little funny. That's a little funny thing about it. It's not going to be perfect, but it's a way for you to create MIDI. Okay, now, here we go. That's the flute, and here's the bass MIDI of that flute. So you see it's in a different key, but that's okay. We can just select all these notes and just transpose. Actually, let me see. Okay, I'm in the wrong key, so let's do this. Okay, here we go. All right, cool. So now that's the right pitch. It won't let me go lower on that particular sound. So what I could do is cheat a little bit, and maybe I can transpose using, let's see, transposer. Let's try that. and go down a whole octave. See what happens. All right, there it is. Can we go lower? -24. All right, cool. Okay, so that's it. Now let's play both at the same time. So you see what I just did, man? I used a transposer to go octave lower, you know, 2 octaves lower, because without it, I wasn't able to do it manually because it wouldn't go that far down for whatever reason, maybe because of the instrument, and I'm just using a stock sound, so that could be the reason. So anyway, you just use a transposer over here, and there you have it. It's not perfect, but that's pretty close, man. Now let's play the bass. Okay, see, that's a little off right there, but I can fix that, man. Just stretch that because it's MIDI notes. I can do that. Play together. And this would be a good way to layer your sounds, you know? See what that sounds like with some drums.